Good day, Tamers! And we have a ban list review to do, because and we have a ban list review to do because I'm a DigiTuber, and apparently this will give me lots of free views because opinions are like arseholes. Most of us have one. So, if you've not seen today, we've got 4 new cards here on the restricted list. One we've been talking about since September. We knew it was coming. It was Greymon. We had Calling from the Darkness, which was a bit of a weird one for most people. Had Shoutmon X4, which we knew eventually would be coming, but seems very strange that they did it so early for us over here in the English meta, as well as Sunrise Buster, which I think has pretty much been on everyone's radar since it was printed. Luckily for us, they did give us reasons for why they've done this. Personally speaking, I'm pretty sure the only reason they've done this is because it just lines up naturally with the Japanese meta, and that way they don't have to worry about having 2 different ban lists, especially when we go to Worlds in March. That is about it for reasons why I think they've done it, because there should be no other reason why they've done it. And as per every DigiTuber, thanks for being here, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're already here and you're already subscribed, like, comment, and we like interaction just as much as YouTube does. So, want your opinions about this ban list, if you like it, if you don't, but we'll jump straight in now with Greymon. As a Digimon card with extra antibody in its traits, multiple copies can be easily placed as the bottom Digivolution card of a Digimon by other cards' effects to gain security attack +1. Furthermore, when digivolving, it has a powerful defensive effect that prevents other effects from deleting it or reducing its DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. To adjust the game's balance, we've decided to restrict this card to 1 copy per deck. Now, to be fair, besides me, I don't think anyone's really putting this to the bottom card of their stack. This is essentially just because it's so defensive. It annoys the one deck in the game that they always complain about, which is Secure Control, because no other deck cares about DP reduction to a degree. But no, I do agree. I do understand why they're doing it. I just wish they'd have done like an emergency promo when they hit it for us that would have come out. It just has the name Greymon. Doesn't have to do anything. Just be like, add 2000 DP. Once per turn when you attack, draw a card. Or once per turn when you attack, gain a memory. Or once per turn when you attack, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. If a card with X antibody in its traits is revealed, add it to your hand. But then put the rest at the bottom of your deck, so you are kind of like milling your own deck, recycling and doing this. Something interesting, but it's not going to break the game just from playing it, as well as it just keeps the names of the deck. Because when you hit this card, you've not only hit this card, you've also hit Dex Greymon, which means that you've now removed 6 cards from this deck rather than just 3. And next, what we're going to look at now is the beautiful, beautiful Calling from the Darkness. And their reasons for this is this card can delete a player's own Digimon and collect Digimon cards from the player's own trash for a low cost. As a result, it causes various endless loops and is supporting unintended playstyles. For this reason, we've decided to restrict this card to 1 copy per deck. Now, to be fair, it's in the correct colour for what you want to do with that colour. Things are in trash, you get trash back. That's essentially what this is. Now, personally speaking, Calling from the Darkness is normally a 1 or a 2 of in a deck. I've never seen any list play 4 of this. Now, I don't know if there's some hidden special Minerva decks that are currently playing 4 of these. That's why they've seen it and be like, well, we don't want that being the best deck in the format. Or maybe it was getting used in testing with some of the R&D team with the Bielsi deck. I personally don't think you would be. But that doesn't mean you aren't. Personally speaking, yeah, powerful card to a degree. Putting it at 1 doesn't hurt anyone too much. And for those of you who now have 4 copies of this card in pre-release, you can sell 3 of them. That's some easy chicken tendies over there. Yeah, the card is fine at 1, as it normally is played at 1. It's kind of like one of those weird like limit lists where you see on Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they go, we're going to put this extra dick monster to 1, but you only play it as a 1 of anyway. Sunrise Buster. Yeah, I expect this card to either get banned or limited to 1 at some point in its history. It's does a lot for not a lot, especially in a deck like Maid Mode, where it just goes, oh, play it for free. Sure, play it for free, play another tamer, you do X amount of damage depending on how many tamers you have on the field. This card has a powerful DP reducing effect, along with an effect that plays a tamer. Therefore, the output of this card effects is greater than intended in some decks. For this reason, we've decided to restrict this card to a copy of 1 per deck. Makes sense, this is currently getting used a lot as well as in the current Shoutmon deck, because the core monster in that deck is kind of a red-yellow card. It makes sense, it's just inverted colours. The Rise Greymon deck isn't really a big deck right now. That hybrid got hit, so you don't really see it so much. But it does make sense that you want to get rid of this from the current best deck in the format, or last meta was the best deck in the format. I don't think X Hearts is doing amazing currently in the meta, but now they've had a hit, it's going to be doing a little less, which is very concerning because now the best decks in the format were the decks that are best in the format, like currently for us now. So, oh no, not another loop of like 6 months of the same deck again. So, yeah, this not so much. This needed a nerf. That makes sense. But the next card does make sense, but not right now. And that is the terrible, wonderful card, Sharpmon 4X. And due to its effect, that allows you to reuse of cards required for any end of attack Digicross. This card can be used for a string of repeated attacks at a low cost. Just by having multiple copies in the player's hand, its on-play effect can give it a stronger than intended advantage in crosshearts decks by increasing the number of cards in a player's hand. To adjust this game balance, we decided to restrict this card to 1 copy per deck. Now, if you've been looking at Japan when this came out, a lot of people went like, this card's too strong, it's very good. Japan had essentially a meta of it was just this and Yellow Hybrid for a long time. Obviously, we got hit with Yellow Hybrid a lot earlier than they did. We also got hit with the Blue Hybrid stuff. So then Blue Flare took a big beating. I think the biggest issue here is it's not so much that this got restricted at all, it's that it got restricted as of the 11th of November, which is the day that X3 comes out. Now you're probably thinking, what's the matter with that? There's nothing the matter with that. It's just that you had literally February, as in amount of time to play this deck, before it got nerfed. And from its inception until the date of its nerfing, you got, I think, 3 big events. You had a DC1, you had a Championship, and you had a Regionals. 2 Regionals if you live in Germany. Is that a long enough time? Especially when people are going to buy these decks, people are spending all this money to get these cards. Now, to be fair, this is one of the cheapest decks to buy right now, just because everyone's looking for the shiny Shadow Alphamon, which is going up in price, oddly enough, with all the Alphamon nerfs. But is that really fair? Me, personally speaking, I think this should have gone out for Japan, because their list actually doesn't hit until December the 1st, which means it comes out just before they get their new structure deck, as well as EX4. For us, we get it EX3, which means technically we get it 2 sets in advance. This to me should have been the end of January, early February set, so we had one format to play these decks, get to enjoy them, get some free wins where you can, go into the BT11, you have to reformat the deck. Makes perfect sense to me, it's absolutely fine. Hitting a deck so early doesn't make sense to me. And you're kind of spitting in the face of every player that's currently buying your product, Bandai. Now, that to me is an issue. To you, it might not be. Again, these decks are super cheap right now because everything in these decks is massively over-ripped right now. So, at best, if you did buy this off card market, maybe even eBay, you've probably only lost about £15 worth of deck, which, again, isn't nothing, but at the same time, it's not exactly as expensive as some of the current things you can see in other card games. Now, if you are a Bloomlord fan, your deck just got tons better as of EX3. If you're a D-Brigade player, your deck just got tons better. If you are a weird aquatic player, your deck just got 10 times better. If you wanted Repurple, Peldramon to be good, good. If you wanted Examon to be good, you've now got a chance. If you wanted the Link Dragons and the 4 Great Dragons to be good, you've now got a chance. The format did just get a little bit slower, and you now can play some of these slower decks in a format where you aren't getting rushed down on turn 2 or 3 instantly. Now, unfortunately for you, we do still have things like Grandis, which will punch over everything that's not 20 plus K. We also have Jesmon, that's now not so scared of having to outrush a Shoutmon. And you also have Wergaroo, which is still probably one of the best decks, if not the best deck now in the format. A god hand for them is essentially turn 2 win for them. That being said, though, I've been Against Swiftly. Thank you for being here. Again, any comments you can think of that you want to talk about or reply to, or things that you don't agree with or do agree with, let me know down below. But again, the ban list is fine. It just came at a weird time. So, peace out. See you guys next time. Bye.